Hey, everybody, happy Tuesday, and welcome to the Sports Gaming Advisors Tuesday, January 21st NBA edition, where we're going to review what happened on a busy Martin Luther King Day, Monday in the NBA, and look forward to the Tuesday NBA slate. First off, on Monday, we had 4 pregame selections. We actually had 5. We had Charlotte plus 5.5. But we didn't get the episode out in time for that early tip to give everybody a reasonable chance to take that. So we're not claiming that one. But we had Houston minus 7.5. They put together a stinker, did not look good at all. We had Memphis minus 3.5. They played poorly in the first half enough to not be able to cover the 3.5. They ended up coming back winning the game by 2, but did not cover our number. Cleveland minus 7.5 did go as planned. Easy winner there. And then the Clippers also played about as good as Houston, just terrible, and lost the game, didn't come close to covering the 5.5. So really a poor start to our pregame week 1 and 3 in those selections. Whole different story live. We almost swept the board in that Dallas-Charlotte game. We got the under, and we got Charlotte plus 3.5 in a tie game at the half, won both of those. We had the under also in a tie game with Houston and Detroit. Cashed that one easy thanks to Houston not playing well at all. We had Memphis, minus the 3.5 didn't cash, but plus 8.5 at the half, down 11. They won the game, as we said, by 2, so comfortable winner there. And we got the under on the nightcap. The outlier, the Golden State Warriors. Somebody might want to check their pulse and see if they're still alive, because they got absolutely manhandled by Boston. As that game went on, it just got worse and worse. And eventually you just changed the channel to the national championship pregame instead of finishing that one out. But they ended up losing by 40. So just a terrible showing for Golden State. But overall, live bets 5-1, pregame 1-3. So for the day, 6-4, and overall, not a terrible start to the week at 60%. Just a terrible start to the pregame selection. So for the week, 1-3 pregame, 25%, which percentages mean less when you're just getting started on the week. Live picks 5-1, 83%. Same thing, small sample size to start the week. Overall, 6-4, 60%, and we start our week plus 1.6 net units. So not a terrible start to the week overall, but this is why you've got to get on sportsgamingadvisors.com and get the live picks. The pregame picks are generally good. We can usually hit 60% or better on those. The live picks, we just do better. It's easier to predict a game halfway through, or once you see it going, and you have certain advantages. So there's how our week is starting. Now let's dive into what's on the slate for Tuesday evening in the NBA. The Tuesday slate starts with the Knicks on the road at Brooklyn. On the road here is in air quotes. This road trip is 5 miles across town. So they've been home for 2 straight. They're on the road but staying home, so not really much of a road game. The Knicks are laying a pretty big number. Cam Johnson should be playing for the Nets, so they're a little healthier than they have been, but this team is not good. We expect that they will not have the staying power to stick with the Knicks here. So we're going to lay the 11.5, quote unquote, on the road with the Knicks. Next, we've only got 2 games we like out of these 5. Orlando, Toronto. Orlando, this total is 213.5, lowest on the board, but still kind of high for an Orlando game. They've gone over this number 3 of their last 5, but those 3 games were Boston, Milwaukee, and Milwaukee, in situations where they just couldn't keep the firepower of the better team under control, and those teams put up big numbers to get over this number. But prior to that, they'd stayed under this number 11 out of 12 games, and overall, in a 17-game stretch, 13 out of 17 under this number. So we're going to go under. Under the 213.5 is our second pick. For leans, we lean to Denver wiping the floor with Philly, but we don't want to lay a really large number there. And then we lean to Washington to stay within 13.5 with this Laker team, who probably shouldn't be laying 13.5 to anybody. But it's just so hard to put units on this Washington team who's lost 10 in a row, and 5 of those 10 have been by more than this number. But we would lean to taking the big number with Washington. You might look at that one, see, LeBron and AD are game time decisions every day. If some of that firepower is out, I would probably go ahead and pull the trigger with Washington. But right now, just a lean to Washington, lean to Denver laying the big number. But our 2 picks for the day, the Knicks laying the 11.5 on the road, and the under on Toronto and Orlando. So that's it for today. Also, we'll have live picks. As you can see, we're tremendously successful live. So get on sportsgamingadvisors.com, subscribe there, and get the live stuff. Add units to your portfolio, and subscribe here for your daily dose of the NBA in 7 minutes or less. We'll be back tomorrow to recap what happened on Tuesday and look ahead to the Wednesday NBA slate. Until then, good luck with all your bets, and we'll talk tomorrow.